Craft Tool Tuesday. I'm gonna go put my teeth in so I'm not toothless. Okay, I'm back and I got my teeth in. I'm gonna put that first part in just because I think it's funny. So I'm starting a new series. Every Tuesday is Craft Tool Tuesday. And I'm gonna go over different tools that I use. I'm not just gonna do for gnomes or for sewing or whatever. I'm going to do paper crafts, whatever tools I use. If I think of one that we might need or that I buy, or that I think I should buy because I think you guys might need it or like it, we'll see. But then I will go over it and I will show you different ways that maybe you could use it or how I use it, what I need that is essential for me and my crafting. There are tools that I use every day that I cannot live without, and I make very sure that I put them back where they are to be stored, so that I don't lose them, because there's probably one tool that I really like, and I'm not sure if it's in this video or not, but I will let you know if it is. So that I don't know if I could find. I probably could, because I have seen other tools, but it's like when you have that favorite thing and you're like, oh, and if you lose it, you're just beside yourself. So let me get my stuff, my tools that we're going to go over today, and we will start Craft Tool Tuesday. Thank you guys for joining me. I will be right back. Okay, Craft Tool Tuesday. I'm excited about this. Something new. And I don't know if I see any videos out there. I mean, there could be somebody that does Craft Tool Tuesday. I don't know. So we're going to just go over some basics first. So, scissors. I don't have really any expensive scissors. I do want to try, and I'm hope maybe I'll order them this weekend, is the Guggenheimer scissors. You probably all have seen the ads, but I would like to try them. So I think I'm going to and see how they work out. Every time I see them, I think they're like 50% off, so I don't think they're that expensive. So scissors, I use these are Westcott. These are just from Walmart, and I use these for mainly my fabric. I have certain ones that I like to use for fabric, because I don't like to pay a lot of money, but I need good scissors. So I need a pair of really good fabric scissors. And then you want a pair for your paper. If you have paper, you don't want to be using your fabric and your paper scissors, because with as much fabric as I cut through, sometimes it is a lot when I'm doing my gnomes. And I always like to have my smaller scissors. I always like to use my smaller scissors when I'm cutting my faux fur. And I think I've got some here, and I'll show you. And I'll show you why I like to use the small scissors. So I'm going to sacrifice a little bit. So if I use these big scissors, and you need to get in between this fur and this backing. So with these nice small scissors, they can get in between there. These big ones, I don't think as much, and I don't feel like I have control. A lot of people can use either an X-Acto knife, and they can kind of just cut this fur, which to me, I don't like that. I don't have the control, and I mean, this might be a dull blade too, but I don't prefer that method. I like to use, and if I can keep a hold of them, I go in between, like I said, the fur and the backing, because if I went and cut, I'm going to cut off the side. If I took these big scissors and went like this, I just, see, now I'll do it on this piece. So if I did that, I just cut, look what I just did. I cut all that nice fringe off, and then you don't have this anymore. You got this, unless that's the look you're going for. So when I do my small scissors, I try to go in between, like I said, the fur and the backing. So I'm just cutting this backing. And you'll be able to hear it. And I'm just going to cut a little bit. And my fur is still there because I just cut that backing. That's why I like these are Fiskars. And I have 2 pair. One needs to be sharpened. And I use these all the time. These ones don't have as pointy of a blade as these ones do. So these are Fiskars also. And I think they came in like a 3-pack from Joann's. So I use these probably every day. These ones are Westcott, and I got these from Walmart. And they're not bad scissors. I just know I need to get a really good pair of scissors and just bite the bullet and do it. And I use these once in a while if I'm trimming threads or, you know, whatever. And it's like, you know, how many pair of scissors do you have? I probably have, like, of just regular scissors, I probably have maybe 10 or 15 pair. I'm not sure. I do use these once in a while, pinking shears. So these ones, and I don't know if you can sharpen these. I might try to find another pair because they do cut nicely like that. It depends for me on the fabric. Sometimes if I'm doing a certain kind of fabric, it will only cut if I have it back here. But what the pinking shears does, if you're doing a project with fabric and you don't want the ends, the seam to fray, that's when you would use pinking shears. Or if, like, you can cut fleece, and you really don't, I mean, if you wanted that type of edge on your fleece, see, because I can't cut, it won't cut up there like it does with this. I have to cut way in the back, the scissor back here. So if you want that kind of look on the outside of your fabric, you just want that pinking shear edge, we can do that. And these scissors are really small. Let me give you a closer look. I like these ones better. They are, get my camera to focus. They're curved on the tip. And these are Singer. I got these at Joann's. And I use these when I do my machine embroidery and I need to clip the threads really close. These ones are the same. I can't remember who they're by. I might have gotten them at Walmart. But they're, waiting for it to focus. They're a lot thicker in this blade here than the Singer ones. The Singer ones are smaller, pointier, and they work better. So if you're trying to get close to something and you want to cut it really close, this is what you would need to use, is these ones, okay? And I have these scissors. These are Fiskars also. And I keep these at my sewing machine, so if I'm clipping threads, I don't have to put my fingers in here. I can just grab it, I have it open, and I can snip it. So it's a lot quicker. They have little ones, smaller than that too. Okay, so still on the cutting. I have this is a Fiskars finger blade, and I don't know, I've got these off Amazon. I used to see them at the Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure if Joann's has them. I heard they stopped making them, and I like it for cutting paper pattern. So if I wanted to cut this pattern out, and you put your finger through here, and it uses, I believe it uses just like an X-Acto knife blade, and then you can just run it along the edge, and you have nice control over it. So if you were into paper crafts and making boxes or cards, this would probably be, you would probably like this. You would probably want to just try it. So you just put your finger in and it cuts it. And if you wanted to, you always want to make sure you're using a sharp blade. So if you've used it on a lot of projects, on your next project, always change your blade out, or at the end of the project when you're done with it, or set it aside. If you can put it someplace, like if you have a little box or a bowl where you can remember that this, I have to change my blade, I would do that. So I use this not every day, because I'm not much into paper crafting. And then as far as, I'm going to save that, that's another video. So here's, and I didn't even open these. These are Westcott scissors. So that's 3-pack. And I think these were probably less than $20 for all 3. So this has a really nice pointy tip, like the other one. So we can try our faux fur. I still think I like the Fiskars because of, and maybe it just needs to be loosened. And then these ones are a nice size because, you know, like I just took them out of the package. So they probably need to be adjusted, but it cuts really nice. I mean, they're new scissors, so of course they should cut nice. So, and those are Westcott. Those are from Walmart. And then let me get rid of all my scissors. And then one tool that I know I use daily is these wire cutters from Hobby Lobby. And I think they're around $20, 22 maybe. And the brand is Claws, C-L-A-U-S-S. And they will cut through the thickest material. Not sure if you can see the wording on there. And I have had these for a couple of years. I have cut through pipe cleaner that I've wrapped in like a quilt batting and fleece, and it has cut through all of it. My girlfriend, we were doing crafts probably a couple of years ago, and she needed a pair of wire cutters, and she found these, and they worked really great. So no problem. And you see how thick that is. So it cuts through it really nice. And sometimes you have to hang on to it. Or if you've got one end you don't like, do it in the garbage. So those are from Walmart. I'm sorry, they're from Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby. And then the other tool that I like, and these are Gartol, G-A-R-T-O-L, and they are miter cutters, and I got these on Amazon. You can see, I'm trying to get it so you can see. If I don't, this is probably going to be one of my worst videos. Oh well. Gartol, and these were like $32 or something like that. Okay, I'm back. So, no problem. And you see how thick that is. So it cuts through it really nice. And sometimes you have to hang on to it. Or if you've got one end you don't like, do it in the garbage. So those are from Walmart. I'm sorry, they're from Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby. Okay, I had my notification, my sound button on, and I got a text. So then you're going to take, and I kind of ball this up is when I'm doing something small, and then I can stuff it that way. So I use these a lot, almost every day now. And then for turning, I use this. You can if you wanted to use the forceps, let's say we were going to turn these pants, you can go down, grab it, turn it, and do it that way. When you're turning something like the arm that we just did, so now I have to unstuff it and turn it right side out. So let's say we got this, we're going to turn this inside out, and then, and I've used these with my bibs, and you want to make sure you get all the points and the curves and stuff out. You can use the pointed end, but be careful if you're by a seam that you're not going to poke too hard and poke through your seam. If you're using the rounded edge, because this edge is rounded, and you want to make sure that all your seams are out, you can use that to kind of go around your project or your piece, whatever you're working on, so that everything comes out. And I use this end sometimes to stuff. So if I was trying to turn this, let's take the small one. Let's say I'm trying to turn this outside, turn the wrong side out. I can use this to poke up that fabric and then poke it through. And then these ones, it's the same thing, except it doesn't have the slant on it, but this comes in the bag of stuffing that I used to get at Walmart, which now I've been buying stuffing for my gnomes. I've been buying body pillows. I think it's a lot cheaper. I think I get more. If you wanted to turn this in to a slanted, all you'd have to do is, if you have something, you could either sit there and file it, or if you had your miter cutters or something like that, you can cut it so you get that slanted edge, and then file it so it's nice and smooth. And then I also use, probably daily, is my tweezers. And I have pointed, I have long pointed, and then I have the slanted. So I probably use these black pointed more than I do. But it's really hard to get a nice pair of tweezers. These ones I got off of Temu. If you haven't looked at Temu, you probably shouldn't, because it's going to cost you a lot of money, because you're going to get addicted. There are a lot of stuff I have bought has been really good that I've been happy with. So that's where I got these, was off of Temu. T-E-M-U. The other thing that I talked in the beginning of the video that I did not ever want to lose, was this bone folder. It's rounded, and it's got like a dipped, curved part here. So if I wanted to fold my paper and get that nice crease here, I can take this part of my bone folder, and when I do, if I'm just folding paper in half like this, and you don't have a scoring board, you can fold it in half. You're going to line your edges up, take your finger and go to the middle, and then you can go out with your finger. And then to get it nice and creased, I use my bone folder. I always make sure I put this back in the spot where I keep it, so that I know it's there. And you could use this for turning, like if you had seams that you needed to make sure they were out, you could use that for that too. This part you could use also, the other part, you could use for creasing your fabric also. So I always have a bone folder. And for poking holes, I'm going to do another video that I have other things that I use to make holes in. But if I wanted to make a hole in a fabric, and then I want to put these snaps on, and these snaps, I got some of these I got off of Temu. Some of them I got from Hobby Lobby, I believe. So this is called an awl, and it's really pointed, and so it's for making holes in, I mean, you could use it in paper, in fabric, stuff like that. And this is Soulmate, I have no idea where I got it. I could have got it at a quilting store. So if I'm going to do, like, these are the bibs I'm making. I made, like I said, like about 100 of different bibs. You're going to poke, and make sure you know where your fingers are so you don't poke your finger. You're going to poke through the fabric and get your hole. And then these snaps, there's one back, there's two different pieces to this. And each piece is going to go with one of these caps or the button part of it. So you need one of each, like a female and a male. And so when I do this, I put this button part here, and it's going to cover over like that. And then I take one of the pieces, I don't think it matters which one, and then you have to get the tool. This is by Dritz, so that you can get these two, squish them together, or so they're together. And you put it in and line it up, and you squeeze it. And I squeeze it a little bit, and then I check, because I've had some where this middle part that I'm squishing, that middle part right inside that center that I'm squishing gets squished off to the side, and then it won't snap shut. And then I've had to work and work to try to get this snap off and break it apart. And I have gotten it off without wrecking it. So now when we do the other one, and it doesn't matter when you're doing something like this, wherever the snap goes, you don't have to line it up like if it was on a shirt or something. So you make your hole, make sure you know where your fingers are. Now, because we need these to snap, we need to put this, and this is probably the male, I suppose. Put your button on the back side, put the other one on the front, line it up. The button part goes in this back, and there's videos on this, goes in that black part. Make sure it's centered, and you're going to squish it. And I like to squish a little bit and then check. And then you're going to take and snap them together. So that's when your awl comes in handy, so that you can make a hole and it doesn't wreck your whole project. Like if you were to put a hole in here for, like, with scissors, then you know you're ripping your fabric. So that's how I use this awl tool and the Dritz tool with the snaps. And for marking, I sometimes use a disappearing pen, but I will use a pencil when I do, like when I was cutting out for my facial scrubbies that I'm making. I just put my template on, and I'll do that in another video, on the right side, because I knew I was going to sew inside that cut line, so it didn't matter to me. So I would just trace it out, and let me get, okay, I'm trying to find a circle, and I got it, but I don't want to show you in this video. Okay, let's say I'm just going to take this. I don't want to use it on that. Let me use it on this. So if I was going to cut, this was fabric, then I would use my pencil, and I know I'm going to sew inside this line, so I'm going to cut on that line, so I know I'm sewing inside there. So that's why I use mostly a pencil for marking when I'm cutting out patterns. And then when I brush for my gnome fur, I will use either a nail brush or a toothbrush. I used to use a toothbrush. So just to smooth it out, but it's not going to smooth it because you can see this has got wrinkle part out where I'm bending over. This is what you're going to use, and I'm probably going to blow everything all over the place, is to smooth out your fur. So you're going to hold it pretty close, and you want it and in good heat And I just go where I see it's wrinkled. And it will smooth it out beautifully. And it works great. I was trying, like, probably 3 years ago. I bought some fur that was on the remnants at Joann's. And of course, it was all rolled up and it was all kinked. And I tried to wet it. I tried to let it dry. Nothing worked. And I thought, I wonder if I use a blow dryer. It didn't melt it. It smooths it out. It works awesome. So I always have a blow dryer because I work with fur a lot. So that's where the blow dryer comes in. And I'll show you on this guy. I'm going to do a video on him. And I would just brush it down and then get it the way I want it to. And then if you spray it with hairspray, but something else I just started using, and I've never heard anybody on YouTube that makes gnomes do this. So I take, and I've got that bow on there. I take hand lotion and I'll rub it on my hands and I will brush it the way I want it, and I will smooth it down with the hand lotion, and it keeps it nice. Or if you use a little bit of hairspray, you can do that too. I like the aerosol hairspray, but I like the way the hand lotion looks because you don't want something that's colored. Scents, I would probably try to stay away from if you're selling these, because you don't know if somebody's going to be allergic to that scent or it bothers them. But look how nice that looks just by using a brush. And I used my blow dryer because I had to smooth that out when I made this. And then I put that hand lotion on. It looks awesome. And I just came up with that like yesterday. And I'm like, I wonder what hand lotion's going to do. And I like it. And I think that's all I have. Oh, I got a few more. For if you're gluing something and you want it to stay. So let's say we want to glue this fabric. What did I do with all my scissors? Every single one of them right behind me. So let's say we want to glue this. And I need a glue stick. This is probably my worst video for not being prepared, but hey, it's my first Craft Tool Tuesday. So you're going to put your glue on the edge of your fabric, and then you're going to let that sit. Let's say this was an arm and you wanted to turn it right side out. Use your clamps. These are from the Dollar Tree. And clamp it, and then you can let it sit there and dry. I'm cutting threads or ribbon. I will take my ribbon and let me find, I will melt the ends of it, and I don't hold it very close, and you can see it melt, so then it stops it from fraying. So I will do that to almost every piece of ribbon that I put on anything. I have used this on my projects with thread. And I don't have anything right now that's got thread right here. And I'm going to try not to burn this piece of fleece, but I'm going to get it close. I'm going to get close and then show you. And we'll see what happens. So I have, I'm going to wait for my camera to focus. Okay, because you can see my thread right there. Okay, so if I take my lighter, and I'm trying to show you without, it did catch it on fire, but if I do it when I've, like on the, I usually do it on the back of my machine embroidery pieces. I will cut my threads really close. And then I don't even have to get the lighter very close to the thread and it will melt it. That heat will hit it and melt it. So just practice on something. Maybe I'll show you that in another video. And then so this, you're good when it's done and you think it's dry, then you can turn it right side out But if you're hot gluing anything, that's when you want to let it dry before you turn it right side out. And let me clean up, and then we'll finish up the end of our video. Thank you guys for joining me today for my first Craft Tool Tuesday video. I will have these every week. If I miss one, I am sorry, but I'm trying to get ready for 8 craft fairs that I'm going to be in. So, if you haven't subscribed, I'm kind of losing track. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, click that subscribe button. And then if you hit the bell, and that will notify you when I upload a new video. You must have your notifications turned on in your settings on your phone if you're on your phone. Computer, I'm not sure about that. But if you have subscribed, thank you for joining my crafting community, my crafting family. I really appreciate all my subscribers and my viewers. Even if you don't subscribe, thank you for watching. I'm going to try to get a gnome video out, so this is going to be for next week. Now this is Friday, September 22nd. So I'm going to do him. He's very cute. I love the color. I went to Duluth, Minnesota yesterday. My husband had a doctor appointment. I went to Dollar Tree, and that's where I got the socks. So I will show you the socks. And then I told her I couldn't find any at my Dollar Tree. I said, you have to go and see if they have more socks. Oh my God, she got me so many socks. She got this color, this like seafoam green. She got in a pink and a gray and a blue. And I've got some gnomes that I'm going to do with them. And I've got some probably gift baskets. I'm going to probably put the socks in for my craft fairs. But I'll show you how, because I did his body a little differently. And I'm gonna try, we're going to do it all hot glue. So I will show you that, and that's going to be on Monday. He's going to come up. So I'm going to try to get him done. My husband's out for a few hours today. It's his birthday, so he's out doing something for a few hours. So I'm trying to get some videos done. So I love you guys. Thank you for joining me today. Be happy, stay well. I love you. Bye-bye.